2 Samuel chapter 5, verses 1 through 10. And all the tribes of Israel came to Dawid at Hebron and spoke, saying, Look, we're your bone and your flesh. Formerly, when Shaul was sovereign over us, you were the one who led Israel out and brought them in, and Yehovah said to you, Shepherd my people Israel, and be ruler over Israel. And all the elders of Israel came to the sovereign at Hebron, and sovereign Dawid made a covenant with them at Hebron before Yehovah, and they anointed Dawid sovereign over Israel. David was 30 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 40 years. In Hebron, he reigned over Yehudah 7 years and 6 new moons, and in Jerusalem, he reigned 33 years over all Israel and Yehudah. And the sovereign and his men went to Jerusalem against the Jebusites, the inhabitants of the land. And they spoke to David, saying, Except you take away the blind and the lame, you are not going to come in here. Thinking, David is not going to come in here. But David captured the stronghold of Zion, the city of David. And David said on that day, Anyone who strikes the Jebusites, let him go by the water shaft, and take the lame and the blind who are hated by David's being. That is why they say, the blind and the lame do not come into the house. And David dwelt in the stronghold and called it the city of David. And David built all around from Millo and inward. And David went on and became great. And Yehovah, Elohim of hosts, was with him. Second Chronicles 11 and 12. And all Israel came together to David at Hebron, saying, See, we are your bone and your flesh. Also, in time past, even when Shaul was sovereign, you were the one who led Israel out and brought them in, and Yehovah your Elohim said to you, Shepherd my people Israel, and be ruler over my people Israel. So all the elders of Israel came to the sovereign at Hebron, and David made a covenant with them at Hebron before Yehovah, and they anointed David sovereign over Israel according to the word of Yehovah by Shemuel. And David and all Israel went to Jerusalem, which is Jebus, where the Jebusites were, the inhabitants of the land. And the inhabitants of Jebus said to David, You do not come in here. But David captured the stronghold of Zion, the city of David. And David said, Whoever strikes the Jebusites first becomes chief and commander. And Joab, son of Terseruah, went up first and became chief. And David dwelt in the stronghold, so they called it the city of David. And he built the city around it from Millo round about, and Joab received the rest of the city. And David went on and became great, and Yehovah of hosts was with him. And these were the heads of the mighty men whom David had, who strengthened themselves with him in his reign with all Israel, to set him up to reign over Israel according to the word of Yehovah. And this is the number of the mighty men whom David had. Yashoab, son of a Hakmonite, chief of the 30. He had lifted up his spear against 300 slain at one time. And after him, was Eleazar, son of Dodo, the Ahohite, who was one of the 3 mighty men. He was with David at Pas-Damim, and the Philistines were gathered there for battle, and a portion of the field was filled with barley, and the people had fled before the Philistines, but they took their stand in the midst of the field and delivered it and struck the Philistines. Thus Jehovah saved them by a great deliverance. And 3 of the 30 chiefs went down to the rock to David into the cave of Adullam, while the army of the Philistines encamped in the valley of Rephaim. And David was with them in the stronghold, and the watch post of the Philistines was then in Bethlehem. And David longed and said, "Oh, that someone would give me a drink of water from the well of Bethlehem, which is by the gate." And the 3 broke through the camp of the Philistines and drew water from the well of Bethlehem, that was by the gate, and took it and brought it to David, but David would not drink it, but poured it out to Jehovah. And he said, "Far be it from me, O my Elohim, that I should do this. Should I drink the blood of these men who've risked their lives?" For at the risk of their lives, they brought it. And he would not drink it. That is what the 3 mighty men did. And Abishai, the brother of Joab, was chief of another 3, and he had lifted up his spear against 300 men who were slain, and won a name among the 3. Of the 3, he was more esteemed than the other 2 men, so he became their head. However, he did not come to the first 3. Benaiah was son of Jehoiada, the son of a brave man from Kabzeel, who had done many deeds. He struck 2 lion-like Moabites. He also went down and struck a lion in the midst of a pit on a snowy day. And he struck a Mitzrite, a man of great height, 5 cubits tall. And in the Mitzrite's hand was a spear like a weaver's beam. And he went down to him with a staff and wrenched the spear out of the Mitzrite's hand and killed him with his own spear. This is what Benaiah, son of Jehoiada, did, and won a name among the 3 mighty men. See, he was more esteemed than the 30, but he did not come to the first 3. And David set him over his court. And the mighty men of the armies were Asael, the brother of Joab, Elhanan, son of Dodo of Bethlehem, Shemoth, the Hararite, Heletz, the Pelonite, Ira, son of Akesh, the Tekoite, Abiezer, the Anathothite, Sibbecai, the Hushathite, Eli, the Ahohite, Maharai, the Netophathite, Haled, son of Baanah, the Netophathite, Ithai, son of Rabbi of Geba of the children of Benjamin, Benaiah, the Pirathonite, Hurai of the Wadis of Gaash, Abiel, the Arbathite, Asmaweth, the Baharumite, Eliabah, the Shah-Albanite, the sons of Hashem, the Gizonite, Jonathan, son of Shageh, the Hararite, Achiam, son of Sakur, the Hararite, Eliphal, son of Or, Hefer, the Mecherathite, Abiah, the Pelonite, Hetzro, the Carmelite, Naarai, son of Isbai, Yoel, the brother of Nathan, Mibar, son of Hagri, Selek, the Ammonite, Naharai the Berothite, the armor-bearer of Joab, son of Zeruiah, Ira the Yithrite, Gareb the Yithrite, Uriah the Hittite, Zabad, son of Halai, Adina, son of Shizah the Reubenite, the head of the Reubenites, and 30 with him, Hanan, son of Maacah, Joshaphat the Mithnite, Uzziah the Ashtarothite, Shammah, and Yael, the sons of Hotham the Ararite, Yediael, son of Shimri, and Yoha his brother, the Titzite, Eliel, the Mahawite, and Jerubai, and Yoshawiah, the sons of Elnaam, Yithma, the Moabite, Eliel, and Obed, and Yaasiel of Metzobiah. Chapter 12. Now, these are they who came to David at Ziklag while he was still in hiding from Shaul, son of Kish. And they were among the mighty men helping the battle, armed with bows, using both the right hand and the left, with stones and with arrows, with bows of the brothers of Shaul of Benjamin. The chief was Ahiezer and Joash, the sons of Shemaah the Gibathite, and Yezwael and Palet, the sons of Asmaweth, and Berakah, and Jehu the Anathothite, and Yishmaiah the Gibeonite, a mighty man among the 30 and over the 30, and Jeremiah, and Yahaziel, and Johanan, and Jozabad the Gederathite, Eluzai, and Yeremoth, and Bealiah, and Shemariahu, and Shephatiahu the Heraphite, Elkanah, and Yishshiahu, and Azarel, and Yawazer, and Yashobam the Korhites, and Yoelah, and Sabadiah, the sons of Yeroham of Gedor. And some Gadites separated themselves to David at the stronghold in the wilderness, mighty brave men, men trained for battle, who could handle shield and spear, whose faces were like the faces of lions, and were as swift as gazelles on the mountains. Azir the chief, Obadiah the second, Eliab the third, Mishmana the fourth, Jeremiah the fifth, Attai the sixth, Eliel the seventh, Johanan the eighth, Elzabad the ninth, Jeremiahu the 10th, Machbanai the 11th. These were from the sons of Gad, chiefs of the army. The least was over 100, and the greatest was over 1,000. These were the ones who passed over the Yarden in the first new moon, when it was overflowing all its banks, and put to flight all those in the valleys, to the east and to the west. And some of the children of Benjamin and Yehudah came to David at the stronghold. And David went out to face them and answered and said to them, "If you've come peaceably to me to help me, my heart shall be united with you. But if to betray me to my enemies, there is no violence in my hands. Let the Elohim of our fathers see and reprove." Then the Spirit came upon Amasai, chief of the officers. "Yours, O David, and with you, O son of Yishai, peace, peace to you and peace to your helpers, for your Elohim shall help you." And David received them and put them among the chiefs of the raiding band. And some from Manasseh went over to David when he was going to the Philistines to battle against Shaul. But they did not help him, The princes of the Philistines took advice and sent him away, saying, "He might go over to his master Shaul with our heads." When he went to Ziklag, those of Manasseh who went over to him were Adnah, and Jozabad, and Yediael, and Mikael, and Jozabad, and Elihu, and Selethi, chiefs of the thousands who were from Manasseh. And they helped David against the raiding bands, for they were all mighty brave men, and they were commanders in the army. For at that time they came to David day by day to help him, until it was a great army, like an army of Elohim. And these were the numbers of the chiefs that were armed for battle, and came to David at Hebron to turn over the reign of Shaul to him, according to the word of Yehovah. Of the children of Yehuda, bearing shield and spear, 6,800 armed for battle. Of the children of Shaman, mighty brave men for the army, 7,100. Of the children of Levi, 4,600. And Jehoiada, the leader of the Aaronites, and with him 3,700. And Sadok, a young man, a mighty brave man, and from his father's house 22 commanders. And the children of Benjamin, relatives of Shaul, 3,000. Until then, the greatest part of them guarded the charge of the house of Shaul. And the children of Ephraim, 20,800 mighty brave ones, men of name throughout their father's house. And the half-tribe of Manasseh, 18,000, who were designated by name to come up and set up David to reign. And the children of Issachar, who had understanding of the times, to know what Israel should do, their chiefs were 200, and all their brothers acted at their mouth. Of Zebulun, there were 50,000 going out to the army, arranging battle with all weapons of battle, giving support with undivided heart. And of Naphtali, 1,000 commanders, and with them 37,000 with shield and spear. And of the Danites, arranging battle, 28,600. And of Asher, going out to the army, arranging battle, 40,000. And of the Reubenites, and the Gadites, and the half-tribe of Manasseh from beyond the Jordan, 120,000 armed for battle with every kind of weapon of battle. All these men of battle, keeping rank, came to Hebron with a perfect heart to set up David to reign over all Israel, and all the rest of Israel were of one heart to set up David to reign. And they were there with David 3 days, eating and drinking, for their brothers had prepared for them. And also those who were near to them, as far away as Issachar and Zebulun and Naphtali, were bringing food on donkeys and camels, on mules and cattle, food of flour and cakes of figs and cakes of raisins, wine and oil and cattle and sheep in great quantities, for there was joy in Israel.